What's your use to me if you are not giving me money? Please save your promises for your family.
This is the story of Amara Bello, whose white hair became as famous in Lagos as the rumors surrounding her. Blogs called her heartless, Twitter called her dangerous. But long before the headlines, before the night everything went wrong, Amara Bello was just a little girl growing up inside fear. She was born in Ajegunle in 1994. Her father drank heavily, her mother stayed because she had nowhere else to go. And children raised inside chaos learn strange things very early. Amara learned how to read footsteps before doors opened. She learned how to tell when a man was angry before he even spoke. Psychologists often say children raised around unstable love sometimes confuse intensity for affection later in life. By 16, Amara had already stopped behaving like a child. Lagos had aged her quickly. She worked first at a salon, then as a bottle girl, then in lounges around Lekki and Victoria Island, where rich men spent money pretending they weren't lonely. And Amara was unforgettable, not just beautiful, strategic, the kind of woman people noticed immediately when she entered a room. Her signature white hair, her charisma, her confidence. Men projected fantasies onto her before even learning her surname. And over time, Amara discovered something dangerous. Beauty could become survival, especially in Lagos nightlife, because the city rewarded appearances. The right body, the right clothes, the right connections, the right table in the right club beside the right man. But underneath all of it, Amara carried the same loneliness she had known since childhood. Only now it wore makeup and expensive perfume. Before Tunde Balogun entered her life, Amara had already spent years searching for stability through men. And Lagos was full of men selling illusions. Wealthy businessmen with wives in Ikoyi and girlfriends in Lekki. Club owners who moved with police escorts. And ordinary people pretending to be rich. Amara entered that world very young. Too young. At 17, she became involved with an older man she met at a lounge in Victoria Island. Told her he would change her life. And for a while, she believed him. Because girls who grow up emotionally neglected often mistake attention for love. That relationship became intense very quickly. He rented apartments for her, sent money, took her to restaurants she had only seen online, introduced her to a softer version of Lagos she never imagined she could belong to. But like many relationships built on imbalance, it came with control. He disappeared for days sometimes, ignored her calls, returned suddenly with gifts instead of explanations. And Amara accepted it because abandonment already felt familiar to her. Then she got pregnant, and everything changed. The man who once promised her stability suddenly stopped answering completely. Not long after giving birth, Amara met another man. His name was Kunle Adebayo. He was educated and soft-spoken, a respected pharmacist from Surulere. Compared to the dangerous men in nightlife, Kunle felt safe. And for a while, it looked like Amara's life was finally stabilizing. She moved out of the chaos she was used to. She dressed differently, spoke differently, started imagining a future outside nightlife. Kunle was patient, gentle, but Amara had spent most of her life surviving emotional turbulence. Part of her had become conditioned to the arguments, the uncertainty, the emotional highs and lows. The marriage slowly collapsed under emotional distance. Neither of them fully understood. By her mid-20s, Amara was separated. Financial pressure returned almost immediately. She was raising children, working long nights again, until she made up her mind to go back to Lagos nightlife. But this time, she was going to move differently, more emotionally guarded, and also more ambitious, very ambitious. And that's how she met the man who would consume her completely. Tunde Balogun. Tunde Balogun came from money, real money. Women noticed him instantly. Tunde knew exactly how to make a woman feel seen, at least in the beginning. That first stage of his relationship with Amara felt intoxicating to her. Champagne, private dinners, phone calls at 3 a.m., late-night drives through Victoria Island after the clubs closed. Vacations. He quickly asked her to move in and got nannies for her children. He made her feel chosen. While the relationship moved quickly, the cracks also started showing. Tunde drank heavily. Sometimes he was warm, affectionate, and emotionally attentive. Other times he became cold without warning. With time, he began to flirt constantly with other women, sometimes openly in front of Amara, almost like he enjoyed provoking reactions from her, and Amara reacted deeply to rejection. Whenever she felt ignored or emotionally abandoned, her emotions overwhelmed her completely. She would become crazy, and that craziness was what Tunde liked the most about her. Slowly, a destructive cycle formed between them. She monitored his movements constantly, asked mutual friends where he was, who he was with, which club he entered, which woman sat near his table. Meanwhile, Tunde continued behaving recklessly because he liked being chased, liked knowing he could disappear and still have Amara waiting emotionally for him afterward. That emotional power became its own kind of drug, and neither of them fully understood how dangerous the relationship was becoming. Not yet. Amara started emotionally unraveling. The woman who once hated alcohol because of her father started drinking heavily herself. Everyone around Amara could see Tunde was damaging her and that things were spiraling out of control. Amara was emotionally addicted to Tunde. She was chasing hope. She believed eventually the good version of Tunde would show up. But Tunde kept humiliating her publicly. Then came Deti, December, in Lagos, and something inside Amara finally broke. December 27th, 2023 was the day it all went down. Amara Bello was unraveling. Earlier that night, Amara had been drinking heavily and she learned Tunde Balogun was at a rooftop lounge in Victoria Island with a lady he asked her not to worry about, while he told Amara to wait for him at home. Little did he know, Amara, filled with rage, was moving through Lagos with something terrifying forming inside her. Before arriving at Tunde's location, she stopped to get something dangerous. By the time she reached that lounge, the relationship had reached its final moment. She waited outside watching the entrance, and as Tunde stepped outside with one of his lady friends, Amara moved towards him, and seconds later, loud shots echoed through the parking lot. She missed the first shot, and Tunde reportedly tried running away between parked cars. Then another loud bang echoed. This time, the bullet hit Tunde, but Amara didn't stop. She kept replaying everything in her head. Tunde collapsed onto the pavement. That's when Amara stopped. She didn't run. She didn't cry. Just stood there, waiting for the police to arrive, and she surrendered immediately. At the police station, Amara remained unusually calm. In fact, officers described her as polite and emotionally detached.